Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to the Castlevania livestream series. I'm just recording this little introduction here to say that I'm going to cut out the first part of the live VOD that's being uploaded to YouTube here, because I ended up going into a lengthy explanation about past capture card issues that I have at this point deemed to be fairly boring, and I do think that it detracts from what would otherwise be an engaging introduction. I'm going to resume the VOD now after having gone into all of that, just to save you the boredom. Anyway, I'm going to try and not go into that too deeply because your eyes will start to glaze over, you'll start to think, I wonder what else I can click on, all that business, so I don't want to bore you to death. But, yeah, I suppose that's more from the perspective of people who don't usually watch me. People who usually watch me probably don't mind listening to me crapping on about random stuff like that. Believe me, I could go into the misery of the recording process in incredible depths, but I will not elucidate on that point now, lest I bore those who might actually want to see some Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, there is a point of progression here for me. I regret to say that... Wait, hold on. I don't know if... This is where things get confusing, because I actually had two recordings between the last one that was published on YouTube and this one now. I believe in the first attempt to go from here to the next save point, I failed entirely, and I had to scrap that recording. The second attempt, I believe I had to cut short because I was having capture card issues. That never went anywhere. I probably did about 15 minutes, had bad capture card issues, and had to cancel the recording. What I'm not sure of is if, in part 5, you saw me make my way through what is currently discovered in the inverted castle heading east. It may very well be that you never saw me go in that direction. Therefore, you might wonder why it's discovered. These are the sorts of things that I really should check before wondering about, like, did I do that? Did I not do that? Well, it would be good to actually refresh your memory, Doomlink. Have you ever considered doing that? Well, apparently not, but anyway, here we go. Irrespective of whether or not I have discovered this on camera, or... yes, whether or not I've discovered this on camera, we're going to go through there, and we're going to try to survive. I believe that there's a boss over here. Wait, was there a boss? No, I don't think there is a boss. Hold on, let me remember what I'm doing in the fucking game. So, that's bat form, yes. I'm actually going to return, because I'm not taking stupid damage. I have to be very careful here, because there's a very long journey that I have to take in order to reach the next save point. That really is the crux of the issue here. It is, I mean, that is our main objective. We need to reach the next save point without dying. Now, this is obviously made easier when you actually have healing wares to make use of, but I don't know if yeah, right, I'm going to equip it in my accessory slot, no problem. Hold on. I have 6 potions on hand. Well, that actually serves to fill me with great confidence. Sort of. I'll just do that. I think that Black Panther's going to come back the other way, or... well, if he was, he's not going to make it here. Okay, so there is a boss in this room. I don't know if I did this on camera or not. If I didn't, then I'm very sorry. It is a red griffin that drops, I think, the Eye of Vlad? Something of Vlad. It's either the Ring of Vlad or the Heart of Vlad. Again, I don't know if I did it on camera or not. You have to understand that it's been like probably 13 to 15 months since that part 5 that is actually published on YouTube, so I don't fucking remember. I wish I did. Anyway, these Black Panthers, I don't know if there is a way to actually kill them. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't really need to kill them. I don't feel like my adventure is somehow incomplete if they remain among the living. I think I'll be alright. There's nothing really of interest down the bottom there, I don't think. Possibly one item. Nothing game-breaking, I can assure you. In fact, you know what? We can just remain in our fucking bat form and cheese the area. I don't mind. Also, I don't know if I took notice of this or mentioned it at all in recordings prior to this one, but when you do turn into a bat, see how your bat familiar actually produces a little heart to show that he's happy that you've turned into a bat? I love that. How great is that? It's adorable. My bat loves me because I'm also a bat. Anyway, that might not be all that impressive or exciting or even cute to some of you, but it is to me, so that's how I'm going to express it to you. Because I am genuine in my expressions, and if that's something that you're concerned by, then fuck right off. There is such a thing as saying random things, and I did just come out with a whole lot of random crap, and I apologize for that. I'm going to try and head through here. The reason why I'm doing this is because I don't remember what's here. I don't believe that this is actually going to allow us to progress, continuing in this direction, but I'm going to do it anyway. What the fuck? Unk of Life, that's what I had equipped. Jesus. Need to get used to the... Here we go, so we want Spike Breaker. I need to get used to the controls. I'm not used to the notion of needing to press triangle to go back and forward and all of that. Like, triangle is not the button that springs to mind. Anyway, Spike Breaker is the armor that we want to equip. I believe we've been using the Walk armor. Supposedly, I haven't been able to confirm this, but it would stand to reason. Hopefully, as I say, the Walk armor will increase in defense as we explore the inverted castle as well. I don't really have much memory of using the Walk. Wait, did I literally just fucking equip it again? I have no real memory of using the Walk armor in the past. Like in past playthroughs of the game. I probably did, but I wonder if there's something that's just generally better than the Walk armor, and then no matter how much time passes, the Walk armor cannot catch up. Oh, here we go, we've got a cloak of some description. It is the Twilight Cloak. Let's see if it ends up being better than the Blood Cloak in any way. So it does provide more defense. It does seem to be better in every regard. There is no demerit associated with equipping the Twilight Cloak. Although, no, there is an additional ability that the Blood Cloak has. That's what it is. It is the, ability to convert damage to hearts. So it's not so much about the stats, it's about the ability of this Blood Cloak. And that ability is going to be the determining factor as to whether I use this or the Twilight Cloak. Converts damage to hearts. I don't know if that's really worthwhile. I'm never really in need of hearts all that much. Now, if it were converting damage to health, that would be a different story, but of course hearts do not relate to health in this game, so I think actually the Twilight Cloak in the long run will do more for me. That's what I'm thinking. So let's go and equip that. It's going to be a little bit of a wardrobe change. In fact, it seems as if we've returned to almost a default appearance, doesn't it? But to be honest, aesthetically speaking, I'm not all that enamored with the Blood Cloak. I don't think it really looks natural for Alucard to be dressed in that. Also, I say, yet I have a bit of a history of whipping out Joseph's cloak and having very strange colour combinations with it. Colour combinations that would actually make Alucard appear somewhat flamboyant. I seem to recall turquoise and light pinkish purple. that seems to be what is entering my mind's eye. I am ignoring these enemies for a reason. It is because there are simply too many of them, and I'm going to be in trouble. I'm trying to break free of these mini-devils, or imps rather. I think they were called mini-devils in the DS game. Sorry that I'm so modern with my use of naming. Oh my god, I have to try and kill these imps if I can. You can see that you are very quickly overrun in this location. The problem with the imps is that by design, they do actually try to avoid you, and they are very effective in doing so. I do have potions, but I don't really want to be using them all. It is also worth mentioning, and it's probably rather apparent at this stage, but I am terribly out of practice with Castlevania. I'm trying to duck and weave my way through all of this absolute crap, and it's not working in my favor at all. What I'm thinking I need to do at this stage is just run away, return to the save point, and try again. The reason why I'm doing that is because I do want the Twilight Cloak to remain on my person. Now, I think I do have reason to believe that I took care of some of this stuff off camera as far as you guys are concerned. The reason why I believe that happened is because I didn't know that my video was going to fuck up in that recording that I did, right? So it ended up being the case that I was saving the game while doing a recording that was not itself going to be saved. Which therefore leads me in the unenviable position of having content that I haven't covered on camera that has been taken care of, and I'm awkwardly coming back here going, well, yeah, I did this in the last failed attempt of this recording, haha. Real nice, isn't it? But again, I have no power over that. It wasn't due to any miscalculation on my part. I was dealing with issues with my capture card that had to not so much be ironed out, but rather I had to work out a way to get around the issue, and I hadn't yet worked it out. I do have an alternative then. No, I do have to save, otherwise when I die, I'm not going to get anything back. I'm not going to recover any progress, so we do have to save, we're going to do it. Ugh, I hope everything's alright. Everything should be fine. Let me just make sure everything's fucking fine. So, volume of the game is fine, I seem fine, I look fine. My audio delay should be fine. Audio, yep, 400 millisecond delay. Let's make sure that the video matches that. It matches that, we're under control. Everything should be fine. If it didn't match that, I'd probably dump ass in my chair and start screaming. But fortunately, that was not what happened, so the eventuality of me soiling myself whilst screaming at the top of my lungs has not come to pass. And we may all be better for that. In case you needed some form of clarification as to whether or not that was a joke, it was. I don't even know how anger or frustration or anything of the sort could directly correlate with the loss of control over one's bowels, sphincter, etc. Basically any muscle or internal organ that would essentially result upon failure in the vigorous defecation of an individual. What a great line of conversation, honestly. So am I going higher than... No, I don't think I am going higher than this, am I? No, I am. I very much am. Let's continue. Please. I know it seems like I'm just totally unwilling to engage them. If that does seem to be the case, it's because that is precisely what's going on. I'm going to try and make a beeline for where I need to go. Okay, that's fine. No, that's actually not fine. Why the fuck did that... Hold on. Mist, maybe. Mist? Can I get through this with Mist? I can get through this with Mist. That's what I should have been doing from the beginning. Of course, Mist does cost a whole lot more MP, but I'll tell you what, that's a fucking solution if ever I've seen one. You guys were probably wondering why I didn't do this sooner. Well, the answer to that concern or question is that it hadn't actually crossed my mind. Now there is, incidentally, this is not the direction I wanted to go. You can see that there is actually an exit point further south of my current position. That's about where I wanted to go. I'd like to get down there if I may. Come on. No, stop it. Get away from me. Not just get away from me, but stop touching me if you could possibly do that. Just doing this for good measure. You can see it really is harming my MP. Let's see if I remember where this is. Oh, I'm attacking my bat, my familiar. as if it's an enemy. I must be getting paranoid. Alright. Oh, this place is not all that exciting after all. This is not really a way for... Oh, no, it is a way forward, excuse me. I'm acting as if I'm in the regular castle right now. Yes, I've been here in the regular castle, but I'm not in the regular castle. I'm in the inverted castle. I don't really... Oh my god, okay, well, let's head down here then, I guess. Why not? What's happening over here? What's this device? Heart refresh. Whether or not it's a device or an item, I couldn't say. Item is generic enough of a term to be able to refer to anything accurately, whereas device is not really that kind of word. Alright, so I'm assuming it's one of... No, it's not one of these things. Come to think of it, I didn't properly commit to memory what it said. I was too busy wondering if calling it a device was appropriate. I see, heart refresh is an item that can be consumed from the right or left hand, and, yeah, I'm probably never going to find the occasion to use it. I might, there's never... what I would guess is that when I do use it, it's going to be overkill, and I'm going to somewhat regret using it, but whatever. Alright, holy water time. Actually, not to kill you guys, that's totally unnecessary. What? Speaking of totally unnecessary, what is this ability that you possess? I don't like it at all. See, this is what I hate about fist builds. I'm telling you that fist builds are very hard when you're not used to Castlevania. If you're not in the groove, it's not going to be helpful to you. To be forced to engage enemies at such close range. When you're obvious, and I think this comes without saying, or goes without saying, rather. Is it coming or going? Who knows? Only Doomlink knows, because he's the one speaking to the audience. So he needs to get his fucking words in order. It probably goes without saying, but when you have to be much closer to the enemy, you have much less of an opportunity to get damage out. The necessity of evasion becomes much more acute when you're basically in danger of being hit almost immediately after beginning your attack, which is exactly how close-range combat works. There is a way around it. I mean, to start with, in my personal opinion, the best way to be able to deal with that is by getting better at the game. Now that's all well and good, but I haven't played Castlevania regularly in like 12 years. Okay? So, more than that. So therefore, I am at somewhat of a disadvantage. This music is great, by the way. I don't know if the game's loud enough. I'm going to boost the volume a little bit. What's great right now with my new setup is that I can very easily... Did I just do a combo that caused my familiar to do something? I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's entirely random or what. Can you get out of the fucking way? Maybe I should just do these little short punches jumping back and forth. That's probably my only way to get through this without taking damage. Unless we've got these legs that just stand still. They're standing still because they're legs. Well, they're not actually standing still, technically. Can you move, man? I'm not used to this analog... Excuse me, this D-pad. It's a little bit sticky compared to what I'm used to. It's an original pink PlayStation 2 controller, which I will demonstrate once I'm able to actually kill this dick. There it is, oh my god. It's actually the right way around because my appearance is not flipped. It is worth mentioning that in person it's not so bright a pink, it's actually a fairly rich pink. It's not like a real pale pink as it appears on camera. Probably has something to do with the lighting and also the chroma key as to why it looks the way that it does. You'd imagine that more... Can we please get on target? See, that's bad habits. I was trying to do the Jonathan ground kick move forward attack. I don't know what it's called. Clearly, if I knew what it was called, I wouldn't have even begun to speak in such ridiculous terms. But yeah, from Portrait of Ruin, there is an ability where you can sort of sit on the ground and kick yourself forward, and it's really good for getting underneath enemies, but I regret to say that I do not have that ability as Alucard. That's alright though. Speaking of Portrait of Ruin, did you know that I'm actually doing a Let's Play of that game and have been since 2017, but I've only recorded like 2 videos of it? That's the World of Doom link right there. Can you stop? Stay on the ground, man. Well, don't do that. That's a fucking Dracula maneuver. Are you Dracula? If you would like to be the next Dracula, then that's fair, but... I'm his son, so I think I can at least be in some position to judge whether or not you're an appropriate successor. Come on. Fucking shit. Can I go onto you? Yes. Now, obviously the technique with these zombies is to kill the torso and head first. What I'm most insulted by is the amount of difficulty I'm having with an enemy that's only dealing 1 damage to me. He's only dealing 1 damage to me because he's fucking weak compared to me. I apologize for how badly I'm playing. I mean, you guys are probably wondering how I'm going to get by with this almost infantile ability that I'm displaying. I will get by somehow. You know what? My familiar is actually making this 10 times harder. 10 times harder. Because, I mean, my familiar doesn't realize it. My familiar is doing his best. He's doing his very best, and I don't blame him for that, but unfortunately he's hitting the legs of these enemies before the heads, or torsos, whatever. And that is leading to this situation where oh my god, I mean it would be so, it's already taking a long time, but I'm missing half of my thrusts. Fist thrust. Alright, no, please bat, just stay away, bat. I'm begging you, man. Stop it. Okay, well, I managed to at least prevent that happening for 2 of them. You know what's actually kind of annoying? The bat contributes only insofar that he separates the torso from the legs, and then most of the time he'll just lay back and let me deal with the aftermath. I mean, he's basically ruined the fight for me, and then he doesn't even assist in the mistake that he's made, or in the rather awkward situation that is really of his making. Here we fucking go. Alright, so I'm not dealing with these Medusa heads, I have no interest in them. I narrowly missed that one. What's going on in here? I've got no idea if there is a save point within a reasonable distance from my current position, but I'm going to pray that there is one. That's all I can do. I have got no idea if there is one. Sometimes knowing the original castle very well can help you in the inverted castle as far as working out where things may or may not be. I only have vague recollections of this place in the regular castle, and unfortunately, those vague recollections do not assist me in my query as to whether or not I am approaching a save point. Hahaha, well, that's alright. My query was quite promptly answered. By the providence of the Castlevania gods. There can be no other way to explain it or describe it. I need to focus on exploring this area. This is the fun part, of course. You guys are probably here for this. Me flying around in an open area, avoiding Medusa heads just so that I can fill in this blank space on the map. It's thoroughly riveting. I'm not used to such a rigid D-pad. You know, the D-pads of the... I must be such a fucking pansy. I've been coddled by modern gaming designs on controllers, so when I go back to the Game Boy Advance, when I go back to the PlayStation 2 controller, my thumb actually hurts. Fuck. That's what I get for trying to make eye contact with the audience. Not that I'm making eye contact with you personally, but I am making eye contact with that which records my visage. which is... Oh, fuck off, Karasuman. No, 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 no. Not at this stage. I'm not yet... There's two of you. Actually, I should be alright. Maybe I won't be alright. I would just like to go over here. I'm not especially interested in you. What was the point of my prating previously? I don't know. There was obviously a point that I was getting to, but I forgot it now. Oh yeah, it's that the D-pads of these older controllers do actually hurt, so... Oh yeah, I don't really have to worry about not being able to get through here. Where's the Jonathan kick dash? Well... Where's the Alucard fucking bat form? Right here, and I can make use of it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What is this, boss? Yes, I have reached this point in a past attack. Can you stop doing this? It's like I'm in a wrestling match with a mummy. I think I can live without this. Just gonna focus on holy water for the moment. That is not how I was expecting that to play out. I thought I was going to be here for ages. Next thing you know, like 2 or 3 rounds of holy water and the guy's dead. Okay. I'll take it. Fuck. Like, here I am in the inverted castle expecting some form of challenge. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that because holy water is extremely broken. Maybe not extremely broken, but if you wanted to really challenge yourself in the game, you probably shouldn't use holy water, but as far as I'm concerned, it's all equalized out by the fact that I'm using fist-only weapons, so fuck off. If some person wants to take issue with the fact that I'm using holy water, well, I'm using fist-only weapons, so I think that's fine. Not only that, but I'm also at the disadvantage of being fucking terrible at the game, so yeah, live with it. Ugh, should I go back and save or something? Maybe I'll be alright. I'll take a risk. Worst case scenario is I'll have to fight that guy again, and I think I can manage. Somehow I do think I will be alright. Alright, we're now up to what I believe to be a maximum of... No, it's not 154 hearts, because I still have more to collect, apparently. Collect them all! Don't let even one heart slip by your grasp. What will your friends say when you come to school without the newest, coolest heart? I don't really know. I'm neither quoting an advertisement nor really channeling one, because it's not funny, it was a poor attempt, and we're going to move on. Some people, I would say the joke was so bad that there would be a percentage of people who would have no idea what the fuck I was even talking about. So there you go. Can you die now? I think it is time. It's very annoying. I really am using a close-range weapon here, in case you hadn't noticed, guys, and the fact that every time I make contact with you, you actually fly well out of the range of a weapon that would have decent range, that's putting me in an awkward position as a fist-only guy. In fact, now that I think of it, why was I taking issue with the fact that I was in what appeared to be a wrestling match with a mummy when I'm actually here, you know, fighting these enemies with my bare fists? If anything, it's rather fitting. I think, you know what, Bat, you did that work. Nice going, seriously. That was your victory. And I thank you for your contribution. Alright, so time flies when you're having fun, and you get things done faster too. What do you know, we've already basically filled in this whole gap, so I'm happy about that. I'm jumping for joy internally. Yeah. I love that block. I mean, is it necessary for that? See the moon and the clouds in front of the moon. Is it necessary for that black square? Can you see that black square around it? Is that really necessary? Was that an essential part of the game design? It would have looked so much better if they just had the cloud in its, you know, cloudy appearance instead of having this black box around it. I don't get it. I'm sure there's a reason for it, you know, I'm not a fucking game designer. I probably don't act like a game designer, and I probably don't sound like a game designer. And quite frankly, I'm not a game designer, so that would be the situation. Whoa! That was, let me say, entirely intentional. Now, the only reason why I'm transforming into a bat is so that my bat familiar can love me. It might sound a little sad, but it's actually quite a delightful interaction that I'm having with the bat. It's entirely conditional upon me also becoming a bat. There is also every possibility that the bat is not actually in love with me, but rather is being overcome with animalistic instinct to mate with me. Which is not quite the same thing as what we humans would identify as love and affection. But, you know what, if the bat wants to mate with me, then let's go for it. Sadly, there is no ability for something like that to take place in the game. So, all this talk about Symphony of the Night being one of the best games ever made, haha, fuck off, I can't mate with my bat familiar, so I regret to say that I don't have time for it. More of these guys. Oh, and you too, that's a bad situation. You know what, I'm going to take charge, and I'm going to take charge and just avoid the entire confrontation. Yeah, that's how I take charge, ladies and gentlemen. That's the solution. How's this guy going to progress through the game if he chooses not to attack anything? God knows. He's not going to level up, that's for sure. Oh well. You give me the ability to literally pass through enemies without having to worry about getting hit. And I'm going to make use of that. Actually, I better be careful here, I don't want to piss off any more of these invisible swordsman people. Needless to say, that was entirely redundant. I had already referred to it as a man, so to then furthermore refer to it as a person was just not needed. I mean, to be a man, you must be a person. What's ridiculous is that you have to hit the sword. It's not, you can't hit the person. Like, he's not just invisible, he doesn't physically exist within the space, even though he clearly does because he's swinging the sword. So you have to hit his sword, which makes a little bit of sense. It's not entirely without logic, but it doesn't make me any less content with the situation. Or excuse me, any more content with the situation. It certainly makes me less content. I think there is only one real solution here, and that is to heal myself and use more mist. Because this guy is dealing way too much damage to me and I'm not comfortable right now. Where are my potions? Excuse me? Okay. The reason why I thought that I didn't have any potions was because I was trying to go up and it just was not working. It's 50, 75, that's better than I thought. It's still shit, but it's better than I thought. Alright, that's going to be enough to survive for now. Where's my fist thing? If you can believe me... Okay, it's dual knuckles. I was going to say, if you can believe me, I don't remember what it's called, but what I was going to say was, once I see it, I'll remember that that's what I need to use. So, if in that moment you were to quiz me on the weapon that I had been using up until that point, I would have certainly been unable to answer the question. At least answer it accurately. I want to hit not with the bat. Not with the bat actually. Oh, I only needed one fucking fist attack to successfully kill the guys jumping around. So, you know, sometimes you just have to give it a shot instead of just running away scared. I'm sorry, I can't avoid that. Whoa, he has an invulnerability period. A pretty serious one at that. Look at that. See that? It's fucking... Can you get out of here now? Yeah, I should have done that from the start. I should just, you know, let holy water beat the game for me. That would be, quite honestly, a bit easier. But would it be... What's the word? Satisfying. Probably not. Oh, Spike Breaker is still equipped. Let's fix that now. Let's get immediately more defense. Immediately. Now, I did not intend to say, let's get more defense immediately. What I mean to say is that upon equipping that armor, I would immediately get more defense. Okay? That was the subtext involved. That was the true nuanced meaning of what I said. Whether or not you feel more informed after me clarifying that, I couldn't say, but if you don't feel more informed, then that's because you just don't get it. You should just give up. I'm far too intellectual for your tiny brain to be able to handle. If my sarcasm is lost on you, then I suppose that just serves to legitimize what I just said. Doesn't it? Anyway. I don't have a feeling that there's going to be a save point in that door to another area, or in the direction of that other area, so I'm going to actually commit to this location and hope that there is a save point somewhere around here. It's quite an arduous task to have to do this, unless... No, this is not... No, this isn't Circle of the Moon. I can't fucking jump on the wall and then jump off. You know, first it's Portrait of Ruin, then it's Circle of the Moon. I mean, get a grip, Doomling. You're Alucard. Fuck's sake. I just realised that the name of the guy you play as in Circle of the Moon escapes me. He is a Belmont. Nathan, that's right. I'm pretty sure it's Nathan Belmont. If he's not a Belmont, then he's something like that, but his name's Nathan, I believe. That is what I'm recalling in my mind. Now, I didn't really want to go over here, but fine. If this is where I am to go, then that's the way it has to be. If I die, we're in serious fucking donkey shit. My knowledge of the original castle tells me two things. The first thing is that this enemy is going to completely destroy me. The second thing is that in this direction, I'm likely to come across a save point. I'm not playing ball with either of you. It's not happening. I will give it a try only to fail, once I have saved. I'm not going to give it a try only to fail and then have to come all this way again, at the expense of your sanity and mine. I hope we're all in agreement with the fact that that is to be avoided. Can you die now? Yeah, good. I think, yeah, that was definitely my bat. My bat just leveled me up. Thanks, bat. I hope we're also all in agreement with the fact that I have no alternative here. No! Fucking shit. Oh no, I do have an alternative. That's the alternative right there. Oh, Doomling. Okay, turns out using my fist is not actually going to help here. I should just keep using the fucking holy water. I don't know what this creature is weak to. But it's obviously neither fist damage. That's exactly what that's called. It's calculated as fist damage. Anyway, yeah, whatever you call that. Whatever it ends up being. I must sound so manifestly uninformed. I was acting on good authority. The authority being my memory. Yeah. I knew that there was a save point here. That's the translation of what I just said. Alright. I do feel that we're at the point right now where we have lots of different directions to go in. I like that. It definitely surpasses the situation that I thought we were going to be in, and that is continuing in some direction for a really long time without reaching a save point. I'm of course referring to the moment when I started the recording and was projecting in my mind what the rest of the recording was going to be like. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way, and I'm very pleasantly surprised. Don't you love this fucking music? I love Castlevania. Why don't... You know what? No. I was about to say, why don't more people play this? You know why? Because if more people played this, the mainstream gaming community would actually know what a good video game is. So, now, of course, people will say, oh, well, what are you talking about, Doom? Like, literally everyone's played Symphony of the Night. Have they, though? Have they really? I'd say they've all played a Metroidvania game, but have they all played Symphony of the Night? I don't know. Probably. Everyone's played Super Mario 64, A Link to the Past, Super Mario Brothers, you know, games like that. But Symphony of the Night, I don't think that really fits into that category. I'm sure it's a well-played game, I'm sure that the vast majority of people with any taste have given it a try. But I don't think it fits into the category as hitherto mentioned by myself. Jack of Bones. I can't see shit down there. Look, it looks dangerous, so I'm not going to go in there, okay? I do happen to have full health, but no one ever got anywhere by saying, oh, well, I've got full health, so how about I just go in there and take a hit intentionally? Well, that's how you fail, because I need to be more conservative with my health expenditure? I don't know. Yeah, health expenditure. Speaking of the opposite of health expenditure, I'm now able to revitalize myself with a potion when the need arises, which hopefully will not be anytime soon because I'm still basically at full health. I'm sitting on, well, sitting on 184 hearts. I actually don't know my maximum. I think I can see it here. Oh, it is 186. I'm almost there. Now that library card, which I believe is what that is. Yeah. The library card will be mine. Oh, it's one of these golden skulls again. Come on, laser skeleton. I'm ready for you, honestly. I'm not afraid. Oh, they're called Nova skeletons, sorry. Laser, Nova, same shit. More or less. These golden skulls. I think I have a vague memory of this. I could be so terribly wrong that words can barely describe it. But I think they don't actually hurt when you make contact with them. I had thought that they did for the longest time, but I think they just physically prevent you from moving if you make contact with them. Like they're just they're an obstacle. They're not actually an enemy that's going to harm you or some sort of thing in the area that will deal environmental damage. It's not that way. I could be totally wrong. And I don't think anyone is going to take advice from me as to how to progress through the game without taking damage, or advice as to, or rather, any informative. I was literally, I apologize for this. I was literally about to say informative information. I'm just letting you know that that's not how one should speak English. Okay, we can't be. Such redundant phrases must be struck from the English language and from common parlance within gaming communities. Speaking of the parlance of gaming communities, that shit's not even English, so as much as I make fun of my own misspeaking tendencies, fucking hell, at least I'm speaking some form of English as opposed to literally making up words that are going to be out of date within 3 or 4 years. Words that you're going to look back on and go, oh god, that's cringy. Yeah. That's what it means to be up to date and hip, isn't it? Glad I'm not part of that. You can't reach me from there, sir. Alright. I do see that there is a heart max up over there, but I don't really consider... Oh, that sound effect is really weird. It doesn't seem to match the attack. I get where they were going with it, but it still sounds a little bit too light and fluffy and non-threatening. Sounds like it would be more like the sound effect of a fairy wanting to talk to you in the Zelda series. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like an attack. It doesn't sound like a Nova beam being fired, but I suppose, you know, it is the mid to late 90s, maybe sound effects aren't that good. Although I do think that some sound effects can still be pretty good. I'm not going to give Castlevania Symphony of the Night a pass on that. What am I doing? I'm checking to see what this talisman does. Why does it look like that? Stop! What is this? May absorb damage taken. Now, that word may concerns me. Furthermore, if it does absorb damage, does it absorb all the damage, or just a percentage of it? This is gross. I mean, no, I suppose that's fine. To provide almost no information as to the specifics of how efficacious it is to encourage one to equip it and give it a try, which is actually more in the spirit of not just Castlevania, but gaming in general. So, you know what, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. That fucking sound effect. Stop it! Sounds like... It's awful. I don't even know how to describe it. It certainly doesn't look like that attack. Maybe some of you would actually disagree with me on that. I don't know, but... I'm causing my bat to produce hearts in a naked show of affection for me, which I take great pleasure in. Oh, well, that was great. Had something of a stalemate there. I'm not sure how I feel about these enemies that deal no damage to me, because if they deal no damage to me, it probably means that I'm not going to get much experience from them when I kill them. And I don't know how I feel about that. It almost incentivizes me to avoid them entirely. One thing that I'm going to talk about, and I probably should have made mention of this sooner, because the longer the video goes on, the less people are actually going to be watching it. At least as far as the VOD is concerned. Those of you still watching, hey, thanks. You're in a minority. Welcome to where it's at in the real world. Being in the minority. That's where you want to be. Things aren't all that great in the majority. Never have been. Anyway, I, as you can probably tell, am really working to revive the series that I have been neglecting recently. Now, what relating to Castlevania might be something that I revived? No, it's not Portrait of Ruin, okay? I had hinted at that. No, it's not Portrait of Ruin. I still don't know what I'm doing with that. I'm sure I will have to work that out, but Portrait of Ruin will happen. But I think it will have to be a live Let's Play. I thought, oh, I probably don't need to have it be a live Let's Play, but I really do think it has to be. Otherwise, I'm not going to bring myself to do it. Especially at this stage where I've probably got half my audience on Twitch and then the other half on YouTube. It doesn't really make sense to lose 50% of potential viewership by just not recording it on Twitch, so... Yeah, so I think I will make the continuation of that Let's Play a live format Let's Play, referring of course to Portrait of Ruin, but there is another Castlevania game that I'm playing at the moment, and that is Castlevania Lament of Innocence. I have every intention of resuming that live stream playthrough. It's not actually a Let's Play. If you're wondering what the difference between a live stream playthrough and a live Let's Play is, this is how it works in theory. It doesn't always work this way in practice as far as differentiating the two, but a live stream playthrough is meant to be a little bit more relaxed, a little less structured. It runs for longer. I have less concern about keeping the commentary constantly running and informative and all of that. Live stream playthroughs are supposed to be even more casual than Let's Plays. Let's Plays were always more casual than walkthroughs, but compared to, again, this is what's funny about them. Let's Plays have always been fairly structured by nature. And you don't really get that structure anymore with the videos that are recorded by people these days. It's usually extremely informal, to the extent where a person can just be sitting there in silence while live for a period of time. You know, everyone just entertains themselves by chatting or something. It's weird. That's the way things have changed over time, but... Yeah, compared to that, Let's Playing is pretty structured, but a walkthrough was considered to be an extremely structured Let's Play. I mean, it wasn't all that common to have vocal commentary, but I don't know how to deal with you with a close-range weapon. I'm sorry, it's too much for me. It's too much for my tiny brain to comprehend. Okay, well, I'm still leveling up even though I was concerned about not getting much in the way of experience from these enemies. Maybe I am, in actual fact, getting some decent experience, but probably not. Current level is 6,977. Oh, hello. Okay, well, I'll kill you, that's nice. I'm very happy with that. Goodbye. Are you dead? No, you're not dead. That's like a 2-part enemy, surely. I think I killed the knight, and oh, that's still very heavy damage. That is extremely heavy damage. Now, needless to say, back in the original castle, that hurt a lot, but it still hurts a lot. 117 damage is still rough. Obviously, my defense hasn't increased that much since those days. Anyway, what was I saying? I think what I was talking about was, again, leading to some sort of point. But I don't remember it now. Oh yeah, I will be returning to Lament of Innocence. I can assure you of that. I want a proper beverage when I do it, though. I mean, I do consider this to be a proper beverage, but you have to understand, there's nothing all that special about me consuming gin. I'm usually just consuming gin as a way of life, okay? So, or at least some spirit of that nature. You know, if I get a nice beer, that'd be good, because I don't always drink beer. I mean, if you're always drinking beer, it's probably not a good thing, because you'll have a gut and you'll be, like, slovenly. Because beer makes you slovenly. But, quite frankly, I mean, I'm not going to explain what I mean by that, but the point is it'll slow you down in many ways. You're not going to feel very, what's the word? It escapes me now. Motivated. You're not going to feel very motivated if you're downing beer every day. But, oh, well, I suppose it does depend on how you... Well, okay, whatever. So, I'm going to get off this subject because I am unwilling to actually expand upon it enough for it to make any sense. So, we're going to stop right there. But, basically, I want a nice beverage for it. Fucking, I couldn't stay... Well, actually, I could stay in the air for long enough to avoid that, now that I think about it, because I do have the ability of either Mist or Bat Form, whichever suits me the most at the time. And that's my fault for not making use of it. I have failed to avail myself of what really should be an obvious ability that is possessed by Alucard. Let's just make it very clear that if I get hit by one more of those Nova Beams, I'm dead. But I do have reservations about using yet another potion. I have considerable reservations about that. I hope I can get to a safe point soon. If I understand where I am well enough, we're at what was the entrance to the castle back in the regular castle. Let's see what's around here. I don't think there's a save point, that's for sure. That's alright, I can probably get back without too much difficulty. I have a lot of MP and I think I'm going to be using a lot of Mist, so we'll do that. I'm doing it for the sake of my... Oh, the Holy Cross is always tempting, but it consumes so many hearts and it's only useful in certain situations, I've found. I do, by the way, prefer the cross that you would throw. The cross that you throw is definitely better. The one from the games that preceded this one. Of course, the stuff with the ding, 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 ding. That's exactly how it sounds. You can't actually tell the difference between me imitating the noise and the noise itself. I guess you can cheat, can't you? You can actually watch my mouth movements and figure it out. But otherwise, like, if this were audio only, you just wouldn't know. You wouldn't have a fucking clue. Alright, let's head down. That's where we can go. Hopefully there's a save point nearby. At this stage I'm genuinely hoping rather than expecting one, as I was expecting in the past. Oh my god, we have to go up here because those Nova Skeletons are going to end everything. They're going to end considerable progress that I've made through this castle. If I die here, it's going to be really bad. See that fucking save point? That one that is closest to where I am right now on the map? That was the last place that I saved. So, if I don't get to a save point soon, we might be at risk of losing a lot of progress. I did have a feeling that this would be one. It just felt like it was appropriate. So, that's reassuring. I'm glad that we've taken care of that. Anyway. Moving on. I will do Lament of Innocence soon. Of course, after Lament of Innocence, I will be doing Curse of Darkness, and then I think after Curse of Darkness, or maybe even before Curse of Darkness, it depends on how I feel. But I will actually do a live stream playthrough of Castlevania 64. I'm going to do it. I had certain periods of enjoyment, let's say, with Legacy of Darkness. Of course, the other game on the Nintendo 64, the other 3D Castlevania. There were moments where I really was having fun, and I was enjoying adventuring around. But then there were certain levels that were just so miserable that it completely blew away any positive feeling that I had about the game. And I was just miserable. I wanted it to end. So, yeah, I do expect a similar experience with Castlevania 64, but I feel that I'm able to actually give it a try, because it has been a while since I was playing Legacy of Darkness. I finished it probably, I'd say, more than 12 months ago now. I could be wrong. I don't remember when I finished it. I could check, but I'm too lazy to do so. You can check if you are interested enough to do that. But, yeah, definitely after Lament of Innocence, I think, well, I will say definitely it will be on the cards. I'm not going to say definitely I will do it. But yeah, Curse of Darkness can probably wait. It would make a little bit more sense, actually, to have a buffer between the completion of Lament of Innocence and the beginning of Curse of Darkness, because they are very similar games. So it would make sense to, because the way it's gone so far is Legacy of Darkness, Lament of Innocence, it would then obviously stand to reason that I would then go Castlevania 64, then Curse of Darkness. That would be sensible in my opinion. It evens things out. Doesn't feel like I'm playing the same game repeatedly too much. Alright, I'm happy to go this way. Of course, we did actually choose not to pursue a direction that led us towards a separate area of the castle much further back, but we could return there, I'm sure. With any luck, we might even end up reaching that door after having gone through that area. Who knows? In other words, we'll do a loop. Shiitake? Yeah. It sure is. Let's go this way first. I've been live for about an hour. The Castlevania is going very well, Arexian. I'm making decent progress. And I'm having fun. Obviously, I'm very rusty at the game. I don't feel like I'm playing all that well. I'm sure any person who has a good eye for excellence when it comes to Castlevania play is basically sitting in place with their heads in their hands, but aside from those people, yeah, everything's fine. I don't know. I'm sure there are people who could technically play worse, but yeah. I'm not doing amazingly well. Yes, especially the fun part. It's always fun to play a bit of Castlevania. There's nothing wrong with that. Although, sometimes I do struggle with the Game Boy Advance games. I have to say that... What's it called again? Starts with D. Can't remember. Harmony of Dissonance. The word that was in my mind was dissonance, so it doesn't actually start with D. Harmony of Dissonance, I'm actually not a huge fan of. Like, it is Harmony of Dissonance, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's what it's called. I got to, you know, the maximum percentage completion of the castle about... It was definitely more than 12 months ago. It was like a year and a half ago, more like. And I finished that game feeling like it just wasn't as good as Circle of the Moon. It wasn't as good as... Aria of Sorrow. It wasn't as good as Aria of Sorrow. It wasn't as good as Circle of the Moon. It obviously wasn't as good as this game. It just felt like a bit of an outlier. It seemed like it should have been better. But there were certain things that were missing. I didn't really like the castle exploration all that much. I sort of got where they were going with it. It's sort of a similar take on the inverted castle, but they just did it a little differently. But there were also things like the music not being as good. The music was pretty weak in Harmony of Dissonance. I have to go through here like this because, unfortunately, I'm not doing any damage to you guys with holy water. I'm not going to be able to get in there and hit you any other way, unfortunately. So I'll just have to pass through like this. I might deal with you though. Fucking hell! No, I don't avoid your rock. Yeah, that's good. When you can actually get in there and deal some damage without being at risk of taking damage yourself, the dual knuckles are actually pretty good. You would hope that there would be some sort of balance to the weapon where, yes, it is very difficult to get close enough to hit the enemy without being hit yourself. But if you can get some hits out, it's pretty good damage. That's reassuring. I mean, I knew that, but I'm too busy pissing myself from having to actually, from having to get close to the enemies. Look at all this crap. Who's got the time? Seriously. The experience wouldn't be worth it. Not at this level. That's the thing. The enemies are almost enemies that I've left behind experience-wise, yet they still cause a lot of trouble, so... Don't know how I feel about it. Oh, here we go. This is how I deal with your stupid ricocheting bones. I feel like there are other directions to go in, but I've really committed to this direction, so I guess I'd better keep going this way. How about we go down here? Get away from this skeleton. Do I want to go this way? I don't think so. We'll leave this for later. I want to be within the same environment. I don't want to get sidetracked. Not right now. That's technically part of the same location, I realise that, but... Oh, here we go. Got another save point. Always happy to see that. Sorry for bumping the mic there. I had tilted my glass back, and then I lowered it forward, and I found it sitting on the foam of my microphone. I don't know where else I was expecting it to go, because I do have my microphone right in front of my mouth, but anyway. Yeah. Sometimes you don't think these things through. Oh, it's boss time. I'm ready to go. No! This is bad news. Really bad news. I don't know how this is going to work. Which one is me? I'm this one, okay. Okay. If I can get some quick fist attacks out, that's good. But you can see he has range advantage over me here. And he has similar abilities to me. What I don't get is why I was dealing better damage before I'm dealing less damage all of a sudden. What's that about? Oh, random criticals. Okay, great. That's pretty good. I see. So the critical hits can be good, but it seems to be consistently pretty poor with regular damage. Well. So he can really fuck you up with the exact same attack. That sort of descending thrust downwards, which is quite deadly with a weapon. See that? He's actually flinch locking me with it right now. And he even has petrification abilities. What the hell is wrong with you? I shouldn't be so afraid because he's actually the second doppelganger that happens to be really fucking weak because I've already been through here. Why are the enemies... I mean, I'm going through the inverted castle, yet I'm dealing with enemies that seem to be on par with the ones from the original castle, and yet I've moved on since then, you know. I need new challenges. Well, I shouldn't complain too much. This guy's still taking a lot of hits to die, but what I would imagine is that it's very confusing to keep track of who's who when you're watching this. Follow the bat. That's the best way to work it out. See where the bat's flying, and that will hopefully, at least in some cases, make it a little clearer as to who's who. If I was taking full damage from this enemy, like something that would be relative to my levels, something that would actually be a problem, I would have died like several times over because he's hitting me a lot. What seems to be the case is that while he's not doing all that much damage to me, he does have appropriate defense. Like, I've fucking hit him a lot. Alright, goodbye. Get out of here. The reason why it takes so long to spawn that is because materializing my reward at the end of the boss fight is actually really taxing to my PlayStation. And it slows down everything. So if it seems slower than usual, it's because the game is actually struggling to load it. So, there you go. Alright, I'll get that zircon. It's not really worth it, but I'm doing it anyway. Well, I don't need to go down there right now. Maybe later, when I'm feeling up to it. Anything? No, there's nothing in that direction. Very well. Hello, guys. I'm sure a quick holy water would deal with you in short order, but again, I don't think the experience would be that great. I actually think my hearts are worth more than the experience that I would get from killing these guys. They're having a party down there. It's an ink party. Anyway. A weapon I can't use, unfortunately, the Dark Blade. I don't know how it compares to the Holy Rod. I have a tendency to just use the Holy Rod because even though you do get weapons that surpass it in terms of damage, they will attack much slower than the Holy Rod. I find that the Holy Rod is just an incredibly robust option because it deals pretty good damage. It's like intermediate level damage going into this point in the game, but the speed at which you can attack with it just blows everything out of the water. Usually, the way I've looked at it is, once you get the Holy Rod, you can just keep with that until you get Alucard's Sword, because Alucard's Sword attacks at the same speed, but obviously has maybe slightly better range, and obviously more damage. But by the time you've picked up Alucard's Sword, you're pretty far through the game. Like, you've probably explored maybe around 60% or more of the inverted castle by that point. So, yeah, it's definitely late game. Or approaching late game, at least. The Alucard's Sword. It requires you to kill Death either the second time. I don't know if you technically have 2 confrontations with Death, I don't remember it clearly. But I do know that you need to kill Death in the inverted castle to get Alucard's Sword. Of course, in this particular build, we are not going to be using it. We will probably pick it up because we may or may not have a choice in the matter. But yeah, because it is a fist-only build, we are not going to be making use of it. Stop poisoning me, shit. Oh, goodness me. I don't want the axe, I've no interest in that. If due to some terrible mistake I do end up getting an item that is not holy water, I'll be alright. I'll get through life. Somehow. I'm not saying it will be easy, but I will be able to see the dawn of the next day. This is becoming very slow and very annoying because I'm having to wait for these stupid things to fall. I have a way to get around this. This is how we're going to do this. You can attack him, that's fine, I don't mind. I'm heading over this way, thank you very much. What's down here? Oh, skeletons. And fucking Nova skeletons as well. I'm getting pretty sick of listening to that sound. Now I'm not listening to it constantly, but it's just frequent enough that it's driving me insane. It's just frequent enough for that. And I'm not a fan. What's behind here? A ring of some kind. No, it's just a diamond. It was a bit dramatic for a diamond. I mean, I understand that they're valuable, but fuck, they look like some end-game ring, some sort of game-breaking thing. Equip this ring and beat Symphony of the Night without so much as breaking a sweat. Well, a diamond ring, unfortunately, is not capable of that sort of ability. Or capable of that sort of bolstering of one's effectiveness. Oh well. Another save point, shit. I'm being showered with them at this point. I feel like I'm being spoilt. I'm going to get too used to this. When the time comes that I'm not being showered with them, I'll be lost. I won't know how to function anymore. Anyway. I'm sure I'll survive somehow. Let's see what's up here. Oh, actually no, we can go this way first. Perhaps not. Let's actually discover this. It'll take a little bit of time to fly up here, but whatever. Usually you would discover it by falling down, but I actually don't know how to access it from the northern part. So I'm just going to fly up at this time. In fact, this is the inverted castle, so there is no way to actually access it down there. Oh no, there would be, wouldn't there? You'd be able to fly down, yeah. What would previously... oh, you know what I mean. I'm being stupid. That is the fundamental point. Right, I remember that I chose to bypass that. Now, you can see that going down and then... okay, let me use compass directions. Going south and then east, there is actually a way for me to continue forward. I might actually pursue that now, while I'm back here. Just over here, I think. Yeah. If I remember correctly, this does actually continue into it. Like, this won't actually be a continuation point through the castle. This is... oh, yeah. Well, I got an opal out of it. I don't think that was really worth it. Yeah, no. That wasn't worth it at all. I was correct in that it wasn't a continuation point through the castle, but I did have it in my mind that there was at least going to be something of worth, and really, that was not the case. Maybe to some people an opal is worth it. I'm not one of those people. So, we are now moving on, and trying to progress through the game. Of course, I don't have such a shallow experience with the game that my only objective is to progress. Nothing else matters. But it is something of an objective, I guess. Let's fall on down. That's the way we want to do it. Much faster than having to fly up, I have to tell you. I don't think anyone would disagree with that point. $400? How are we going for gold? Is it dollars or is it gold? Fuck if I know. I don't think they even know. I have 27,000 gold. I believe, I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly. I believe it is 30,000 for Joseph's cloak. I'm not especially saving up for Joseph's cloak, but what the hell else am I going to spend this money on? May as well get it. Is Joseph's cloak appropriate into the endgame? I suppose so. The defense is pretty good. I think there are technically cloaks that are better at the very end of the game, but what I will say is that it will definitely be an improvement upon what I'm wearing right now, so, you know, I would say that there is every likelihood that by the time I can afford Joseph's cloak, it will be better than what I have equipped, and yeah, I'll be able to customize my appearance a little bit. I'll try not to make myself look too flamboyant, but yeah. We'll do some custom colors. Why not? You have to pay a bit of fucking money to be able to do it, but at least it's not a microtransaction. This is 1997. None of that. Oh, a time before microtransactions. What a life, huh? What joy. Microtransactions. Who has time for that shit? I do, apparently. I've been playing the North American version of Fate Grand Order since it came out, so, like, since the day of release. So, but I haven't been playing it recently. Fucking hell. We're not going to get on that subject. It's not a very good game, in case anyone wants to know. It's actually not great at all. What is in here? Peanuts? Why? What's this about? Okay, I guess I should be laughing. Yeah, it's supposed to be funny, I guess. Let's move on now. I feel like I just wasted my time a little bit. I'm glad that I had a save point, I suppose, but now I have to backtrack quite a distance to really be able to progress. If you can see, I can't really see it from here, but it seems as if there's no point of progression anywhere nearby. Oh no, there is one. See the save point just southeast of our current position? There is actually a way forward to the west. So we will go there. That seems appropriate to me. Also, something that I, again, should have mentioned a little earlier. One thing that I also was having trouble with in regards to Symphony of the Night. In fact, Symphony of the Night is actually the beginning of my troubles with my current capture card that I'm using right now. When I was playing Symphony of the Night, fairly regularly, I was recording it fairly regularly, I got myself a component cable for the PlayStation 2. The cable that I was using to record the PlayStation 3 with component outputs, or component cables to output video, wasn't really appropriate for the PlayStation 2. It was a very odd cable that I was able to get into my PlayStation 3, but it seemed as if it would actually damage the port of my PlayStation 2 if I were to try and put it in there. It was not PlayStation official, let me stress that. I got a proper component cable for the PlayStation. Of course, it will fit the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. The ports are roughly the same. And I plugged in that component cable, and it seems that I'm not able to actually play, I would assume, PS1 games in general with a component connection. I don't think it's specific to Symphony of the Night, but yeah, when this happened, I just assumed that there was a fucking problem with my capture card. I thought my capture card had just completely shat the bed, but no, it was a case of my PlayStation 2 not being able to emulate PlayStation 1 with component video out. I don't know what that's about, but if it doesn't work, I suppose. I don't have any other PlayStation 1 games to try it on, unfortunately. So yeah, that was kind of annoying, but I'm currently recording with component cables because, as I understand it, I have no alternative. So, here I am. Hopefully I'll find a save point soon. I've taken a lot of damage. It's not good. Oh shit. Well, I can technically get to my next save point pretty easily. Don't get hit by that. It's not going to be good for anyone, particularly not me. See that 1 damage business? How the fuck I avoided that, I've got no idea. It's not worth fighting them. It's actually not worth it, I'm not doing it. But yeah, I don't think using component cables would make this look especially different. It would look different for sure, but this is... look, if you want to have an idea of what the difference would be, compare my latest recording of Lament of Innocence to the one before it. I think I've only done 1 recording of Lament of Innocence with component cables, and that'll give you an idea of the difference in quality. It is noticeable, but particularly with an older game like this, it's fine when it's being recorded with regular composite cables. Didn't really pronounce the S there properly. Composite. Composite, yes. Alright. Happy to be saving my progress properly. Now, where's the best way to go from here? I think probably going down from the clock room, which of course would have been up back in the regular castle. I'm fairly familiar with what is actually lying in wait ahead. I'm familiar with that part of the castle, that's what I'm trying to say. So we'll check that out. Probably better to fall. It would certainly be more economical. I see. Well, I don't really want any of these. I'm perfectly content with my holy water. What you're seeing here, by the way, is entirely unique to the inverted castle. As I recall, this is not here in the regular castle. So, oh, here we go. Got an HP max up. I'm happy with that. Possibly a heart max up in the other direction. Let's find out. I was really wanting a way forward, actually, but this is fine, I suppose. Alright, now I have to figure out where to go from here. I'm sure I'll work it out. It looks like I've got a way forward. Yes, I can see where to go. Actually, I've got 2 options. It depends. I've got 3 options. I'm seeing 3 options right now. In my somewhat immediate vicinity. And I've just found a 4th. I think we'll head west. I feel better heading west overall. So, the save point closest to where I am right now, northwest of my position, just south of that save point, there is a way to continue to the west. I believe that takes me into a new area of the castle. In other words, it will have a corridor for me to pass through. Let's make our way over there. What the fuck am I doing with myself? Not paying attention to where I'm going, that's what I'm doing. I can't stress enough how happy I am to be back recording videos, guys. For the longest time, I really was just not doing that. I for a month and a half was just not recording videos, and it sucked. But I'm back, and not only am I back recording videos, but I'm back doing older stuff like this. I wasn't able to record these older consoles because my setup didn't allow for it. I wasn't able to set up my older television at that time, and it was a shame. But now with my new setup, I'm able to do that without issue. And it's satisfying to be back here, playing on these older consoles again, for your viewing pleasure. It is pleasurable for both you and myself. Or at the very least, I hope it's pleasurable for you. Go away, Nova Beam guy. Skeleton with the green bones and the fucking blue Nova Beam. Okay. Good. I'm glad we agree with that characterization. There was no specific agreement that was either audible or recognizable, but I've decided in my own mind that we all agree on what I said previously about in describing the appearance of the skeleton in question. Yes. I'll continue in this direction. For now, I think I can access this door. Oh, fuck off, these hidden bastard things. Ugh. Oh, there isn't one here, of course. Stop trying to trick me like this. I got a meal ticket, which is nice. I might actually use that. I won't use it here, though, because I need to get away from these stupid spikes on wheels. Go away. It's funny, I just mentioned a meal ticket and then I said spikes on wheels. Of course, meals on wheels is a thing that exists over here. It's mostly for elderly people, as I understand it. It's just delivering food to the elderly. It essentially preceded the phenomenon of, I'm not going to go out and get food for myself, I'm just going to get it delivered. Yeah. It preceded that. This was, I mean, if you can imagine, this was actually for people who couldn't go out and do that. What a fucking thought. You know, people who actually had to stay at home because they're not mobile enough to go and shop for themselves to get groceries and ingredients for making food, and they can't go out and get food for themselves, so they have to have it brought to them. Makes sense, right? Well, now we're all like that. We've all become like the elderly, and we can't actually provide for ourselves. We're so fucking lazy that we can't go out and get our own food. How sad is that? I mean, what a future for the human race. I'm just gonna fucking sit at home. Yeah, I'm gonna sit at home and have the food arrive at my plate. I mean, what the fuck did you do in the past? I'll tell you what you did in the past. You got your fucking food and you ate it. That's what you did. And that's what I continue to do. Anyway. Moving on. I don't know how that became so emotionally charged, but it was. I don't mean to express such strong indignance, but seriously, I just don't get the culture of it. I mean, I know exactly what it is. I know... all I can say is, where did it come from? How does that relate to the culture from where it originates? And why is it bad for the world as a whole to embrace it? If you can answer all of those questions, then I don't need to explain anything. That's what I'll say about that. Anyway. Moving forward. I don't know if I really want to just take a giant journey over to the opposite side of the castle. Am I ready for this? Alright, let's do it. It's just because there was another direction for me to go further east of where I am now. You can see that I can continue up. I guess I'm just going to leave that for now. If I was going to make a decision on that, I would have to make it now, and I think I've made it. I think I've decided, nope, I'm not going to go up there, we're going to go all the way over here. I can live with that. Well, I'm going to have to, actually. We live and die by the decisions we make, so why should it be any different in video games? Alright. Uh-huh. That's a pleasant surprise, I wasn't expecting that. Now, I don't think that there is actually a save point going up there. I should instead seek to reach the save point that exists in my mind's eye by heading in this direction. What was previously at the north of this tower, in the regular castle, will indeed be at the south, here in the inverted castle. Doomlink speaks the obvious for someone's benefit. I don't know whose benefit, but there's always someone out there who needs to be told that when you invert north and south, you get the opposite. Yes. Sometimes I forget how long this, or how tall this tower is. In case you wanted an update, I'm hungry. Like an update on Doomlink's current stomach growling thing, yeah. I'm hungry. I've done a good job filling my stomach with gin, but not really filling it with food, and I'm probably going to have to do that soon. I find that to be beneficial. For many reasons. Personal sustenance, in case you needed to be informed of this fact, is one of the priorities of life. Yes. Can I drop down there? It almost looks like I can drop down there, but I can't. I cannot. Can I get to that save point now? I've bypassed so many... Fucking hell. Remember when I said that there would be a scenario where outside of my control I would lose holy water? Well, that's it right there. I've now lost holy water. I have probably the second to worst item in the game. It is the Holy Bible. And yeah, it's not good. It's quite frankly subpar. It's a fucking book that flies around the place and it barely hits anything. You get like 1 or 2 hits out of it and that's about it. And the hits aren't even that damaging. It's just bad. The throwing axe is far superior. If you're wondering what the worst one is, it's probably the throwing knife, just because the damage isn't very good. But to be completely honest, the throwing knife still functions better than this thing. I wouldn't doubt that if in the end you were to compare them strictly, this would probably be worse. So, yeah, fuck the Bible. Not the real Bible. I mean, if you're into the real Bible, then fine. But the item in this game, it sucks. Ugh. Some people are into the real Bible. They're really into it. They like it a lot. So just uttering the words, fuck the Bible, to some people would be the most blasphemous statement to ever utter. But of course, context matters and intention matters as well. But truly educated people wouldn't. Well, I suppose those... oh, actually, this is a contender for worst item. See this? This fucking crap. You know what? This is more fun, because at least I'll have to try to make contact with enemies with this. Possibly for better damage than the Bible. I don't know. Ugh. Do I want to continue in this direction yet? There's a lot of area discovery that needs to take place. I don't think I want to do it, but here I am anyway. See all this? Yeah, you can probably already get an idea for how much needs to be discovered based on how far I was able to fall, and all of that. We've got a helmet that may replace what we have right now. Let's see if it does. Stop it. It is superior. In certain ways, it reduces my intelligence. But my strength and my defense increase. Constitution and luck remain the same. Yes, let's use it. I don't really think that intelligence matters all that much for my build, does it? I don't think so. Presumably it would relate to the consumption of magic, possibly? I don't know. I'm not absolutely sure of how intelligence relates to my character in this game. There's no use trying to hide that fact because it's been demonstrated to be the case, whether I like it or not. I really don't like being in this position, having to discover this large area. Technically I don't have to do that, but I also do have to do that, because if you don't, you've got this open space that's not properly explored, and it just feels awful. You need to have it filled in, otherwise you haven't explored it all. That really is one of the main objectives of That's one of the main objectives of Castlevania. Apparently I'm tripping on my words. Discovering the map that you're in is, quite frankly, the main objective, because that's your constant source of... why does this word always fucking escape my mind? It's your constant source of satisfaction. It's important to feel like you're actually progressing. Now, I don't know if the area that I'm flying under right now is cut off from where I am at this time. I think it is. So I'm not going to be able to access anything with what I just saw. Which is fine, I can live with that. I'll be alright somehow. Oh no, it might not be cut off after all. Check this out. It's alright, I don't mind being proven wrong. It's perfectly alright. Let's find out what this item is. I don't know what it is. It is indeed eluding me. Karma coin. What does it do? Must be here somewhere. I would imagine that it temporarily raises one of your stats. Coins with 2 effects. Well, I'm not going to find out what they do. Sorry, I don't give a shit. Nothing against the game, it's just I don't care enough to try. I really don't. I don't believe that it will have any great bearing on what I'm doing at this moment, so... if I'm wrong, then so be it. But I'm not going to try it out. Okay, I don't need to continue down there. 'Tis already marked on my map as being discovered. We are at 1 hour and 42 minutes. I will press on through my hunger and drowsiness. Honestly, I'm feeling kind of tired. It is almost 1 in the morning. I haven't actually yet consumed what could be referred to as dinner. I'll have something to fill my stomach and then we'll go to bed. Why I'm including you in that, I don't know, but anyway. The Let's Playing habits cannot escape me. I always use inclusive language as a Let's Player, although it is a little unnatural to include you in the process of me sleeping. I don't really want to take you with me when I'm sleeping. When I'm, going somewhere in a game, yes, I'm taking you with me because we're on the journey together. You're watching and I'm doing, but when I'm sleeping, I don't want you there watching me, okay? I think I can really do without that. Although the phenomenon and advent of 24-hour live streaming has actually made it so that it's perfectly okay to have people watch you while you sleep. Like, what the fuck? That's just... I mean... That's how you know things have gone wrong. When you've got an audience of people watching you fucking lying still. While you, I don't know, mutter to yourself and mumble and... Oh, I've got the weird chef salt attack. Just a little pinch of salt, and apparently that harms enemies. I don't understand what it is. It's some sort of powder. I actually don't know much about it. I'm sure that it is common knowledge among respectable and somewhat learned. No, I wouldn't even say somewhat learned. Like, basically anyone who knows a thing about Castlevania would probably know what this powder is. Oh, it's actually pretty good. At least at the moment. For me. Stop! What, just touching it hurts me? Fuck off. I'll go away then. I'll go somewhere else. But yeah, this powder, I don't know what it is, but it hurts enemies, and I'm happy with that for now. Oh, I see. So it can... It's actually a... It's almost like holy water light. You throw it on the ground, and it stays on the ground, and while it is on the ground, enemies that are making contact with it will be harmed. Of course, I call it holy water light, because it does, from what I can tell, deal less damage as compared to holy water, but it's still pretty good. Don't land on me, fucking hell, man. I don't know why I sounded so weird when I said that, but maybe it's a measure of my frustration, I'm not sure. A measure of my frustration is also being unable to pronounce the letters SH to form a sh sound. Yes. Am I out of potions? Did I seriously have all of my potions? What is going on? I should get my meal ticket out. Unless I did go past my regular potions. Someone's going to say, well, no, you had high potions, don't you? You had high potions. Well, I don't want to use high potions, do I? Ice cream. Lunch A. That's fucking suspect. I don't know about that. Lunch A? I need a little bit more description than that. Otherwise I'm not sure I'm comfortable eating it. Peanuts. Ham and eggs. Omelette. Yeah, well, that's good. Sirloin. That's like... That's probably like 200 health, if I remember correctly. I'm going to consume meal A. Oh, there are my potions. Okay, well, I don't need to consume meal A because I found my potions, but I'm going to find lunch A. But, yeah. While it might not be necessary, I'm curious. Lunch set A happens to be fucking abysmal. I don't know if that is somehow an indication of the flavor of lunch A, the fact that it gave me only 25 health, but if I'm fucking disappointed, Alucard, are you fucking kidding? How does it just evaporate? I would understand if it disappeared after like 5 seconds, but that was more like 3 seconds. Give me a break. Alright, have a munch on some Chinese delicacies. Fucking 30 health. What's this? 17. That's how they balance it out. They give you a whole lot of garbage and then you might have a chance to get sirloin steak or something. Ham and eggs. As opposed to eggs and ham, of course. 22. This is an insult. This is truly terrible. I'm more or less doing this for fun, but... presumably peanuts will almost recover nothing in the way of health. Presumably. I can't imagine it actually really doing much. Dude, fucking idiot. That was like, you know, half of what I just ate. That amount of health that I lost. What a joke. Oh, God. Alright, throw your bomb. I don't care. Stop. No. See, the problem with that explosion is that it lasts longer than it looks. It'll actually be effective for quite some time. Well, it's good of you to throw it on the wall like an idiot. Do you not know how this works? Seriously. Imagine if your only job was to handle a bomb. And in throwing it, you throw it on the ceiling and have it detonate above you. Imagine being so utterly inept. Whatever. I shouldn't complain too much. It worked in my favor, so Why am I sitting here criticizing him? He's already dead. It's in the past. Move on, Doomley. Seriously. Whoa. Is there anything here? Oh, there is. I mean, that does not look like a fucking exit. But fine. Whether it looks like an exit or not, it is actually indicated to be an exit. It's outlined very clearly. Okay, this is where I fought the Karasu man originally. Thank fucking god he's not here right now. Oh, I must have already killed him. Yeah, I already killed him. Okay, well, I will actually avail myself of the close by save point. I do have a little bit further to go. At least I think so. When I say a little bit further to go, I mean there is somewhere that I want to go that I'm somewhat close to. Actually, I've, in trying to get to this save point, found myself much further away from it now, but... Yeah, long story short, I've got about 10 minutes until 2 hours have passed in this recording. And, I do have stuff that I want to take care of, so let's do that. I think we are almost out of this area. We're getting there. Actually, no, in the original castle, where we ended up just there was actually really the point of passing through this area, so it does beg the question as to what exists in the direction that I feel that I can progress. Please don't tell me that's the elusive entry point in the tower with the Medusas that I just can't seem to pass through. It literally says that there is a way to go, but I can't work out how to actually get there. It's fucking awful. Alright, well I don't really want to be... See, I have to go back this way anyway, don't I? Because there's no way... I can't really continue heading east from where I last saved, because that is where I started in the inverted castle. I'm not going to cover any new ground going that way, so I need to return to this... to the place I want to get that money, but it's not worth it, okay? Fuck off. I've established that, all on my own. I realise that you're throwing bombs at the ceiling for no reason. I can see that. Ugh. Yeah, I know what I'm doing here. Last time I was here, I didn't have the MP, but I've fucking got the MP now and I'm making use of it. I don't have time for you guys. Not with a fist weapon. God, no. Sorry, but not sorry. Get out of my goddamn face. Can you move, please? Thank you. What about the experience, Doomlink? Well, what about it? Time for that. I don't know how many attacks it would take to kill them, but... Actually, I'll drop down here. Don't... Whoa! Okay, never mind. I didn't realise that I had materialised as a human on a ledge. I had no way of knowing that. I suppose if I had opened my eyes and actually properly interpreted my surroundings, I would have worked it out all on my own, without finding out as I materialised as a human being, but I didn't do that at the time, so there was no other way for me to work it out. Alright, need to continue a little further up. My goal at this time is to reach that tower again. And I will actually go to the save point that I originally went to in the tower. I happen to be rather close to it. Just so that I don't have to make the journey back if I fuck up continuing from this point. I'd like to think that's a pretty sensible way forward. Okay. You know what, guys? This is less than 2 hours, and I apologize for that, but the reason why I'm finishing right now is that I think that this is a really good place to stop. I have a distinct feeling that if I were to continue from this point, I'm going to start committing to long journeys that won't come to an end until maybe 20 minutes from now, and I just don't want to do 20 minutes more. So, I do thank you all for watching. This has been Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the first proper recording in well over a year, and it feels good to be back. I will be doing some Lament of Innocence at some point, possibly over the weekend, so within the next 2 days, during the next 2 days. Or perhaps not. I really don't know. We'll find out, but in the meantime, I do bid you all farewell, and I hope to see you again in Symphony of the Night soon. Bye-bye.